Welcome to Golden Bachelor. If you love celebrity news and real entertainment updates, you're in the right place. What was supposed to be a lighthearted birthday celebration in paradise quickly turned into one of the most unforgettable moments of the season. As the group gathered to celebrate Kenny's big day, tensions that had been quietly building between him and Mari suddenly came to the surface. Smiles faded, laughter stopped, and the mood shifted in an instant. According to those nearby, Mari appeared overwhelmed by emotion as unresolved issues bubbled up. Instead of brushing things aside, she made a bold and impulsive decision that shocked everyone watching. In a moment no one expected, the birthday cake, meant to symbolize love and celebration, was tossed into the fire, instantly becoming a symbol of frustration and heartbreak. The cast stood frozen, unsure how to react. Kenny looked stunned, clearly caught off guard by how quickly the moment escalated. What began as a playful party turned into a turning point for their relationship, leaving fans questioning whether this couple could recover from such a public breakdown. After the shocking moment, the celebration came to a complete standstill. The fire crackled softly as everyone tried to process what had just happened. No music, no laughter, just silence and the weight of emotions hanging in the air. Kenny eventually broke away from the group, clearly needing space to think. For him, the moment wasn't about the cake anymore. It was about what it represented: unresolved feelings, miscommunication, and the growing distance between him and Mari. Cameras captured his frustration as he questioned whether they were truly on the same page. Mari, meanwhile, was visibly shaken. Friends gathered around her as she tried to explain what led to her reaction. She admitted that she'd been holding in doubts and insecurities for days, afraid to voice them at the wrong time. The birthday celebration, meant to be joyful, became the breaking point she didn't see coming. As night fell in paradise, whispers spread among the cast. Some felt the moment was impulsive, while others believed it was an honest expression of bottled-up emotion. One thing was clear: this incident had drawn a line neither of them could ignore. Later that evening, Kenny and Mari finally sat down for a private conversation. Voices were calm but heavy with emotion. Kenny spoke about feeling embarrassed and hurt, while Mari shared how overwhelmed she'd been feeling, unsure if her concerns were being heard. The conversation didn't end with clear answers, but it did open the door to honesty. Whether this moment would pull them closer together or push them apart remained uncertain. In paradise, even small moments can change everything, and this one would be remembered long after the flames went out. The next morning in paradise felt noticeably different. Sunlight filled the beach, but the tension from the night before hadn't faded. Cast members whispered over coffee, replaying the moment again and again. Everyone knew that what happened had shifted the entire dynamic of the house. Kenny kept to himself, taking a long walk along the shoreline. Away from the cameras and noise, he reflected on how quickly things had unraveled. He admitted to a close friend that the public nature of the moment hurt the most. It made him question whether their connection was strong enough to survive pressure. Mari, meanwhile, woke up feeling a mix of regret and resolve. She didn't try to defend her actions. Instead, she acknowledged that emotions had taken control. In a quiet confessional, she shared that she cared deeply for Kenny, but feared losing herself in the process of trying to keep everything perfect. The birthday celebration, meant to be joyful, became the breaking point she didn't see coming. That afternoon, a group gathering brought everyone back together. The energy was cautious. Some cast members tried to lighten the mood, but every laugh felt tentative. When Kenny and Mari entered the space together, all eyes followed them. It was clear that whatever happened next would matter. Later, Kenny pulled Mari aside once more. This time, the conversation was quieter, more intentional. He asked a simple question that carried a lot of weight. "Do you see a future with me here?" Mari paused, visibly emotional, knowing that her answer could change everything. The moment hung in the air.
one choice, one response, one chance to rebuild what had been shaken. Mari finally spoke, her voice steady but emotional. She admitted that she did see a future with Kenny, but only if they could be honest about their fears instead of hiding them behind smiles. She explained that the pressure of paradise made her feel like every moment was a test, and the birthday incident was the result of emotions spilling over, not a lack of care. Kenny listened carefully, nodding as she spoke. For the first time since the incident, his expression softened. He shared that he felt blindsided, not because of the action itself, but because he didn't realize how much Mari had been holding inside. He admitted that he sometimes avoided difficult conversations to keep the peace, not realizing that silence was creating
stretched on as the sun began to set. There were no raised voices, no dramatic exits, just two people trying to decide whether their connection was worth fighting for. Around them, paradise seemed to pause, as if giving them space to figure things out. That night, Kenny spoke privately with a few castmates, confessing that the moment had forced him to grow up fast. He realized relationships weren't about perfect celebrations or flawless moments. They were about how people handled conflict when things went wrong. Mari, meanwhile, reflected alone by the water. She acknowledged that her reaction would follow her, but she also believed it might be the moment that saved their relationship rather than ended it. Sometimes breaking down is the first step toward rebuilding. As the episode closed, the couple stood together at the edge of the beach, not holding hands, but not walking away either. The future was uncertain, but for the first time since the fire died out, there was a sense of possibility. Paradise had tested them, and the next choice they made would determine everything. As the night grew quieter, the weight of what lay ahead became impossible to ignore. Everyone knew a major decision was coming, and the tension surrounding Kenny and Mari could be felt across the beach. Paradise has a way of forcing clarity, and this time was no different. The following day brought a new challenge, a group date designed to test trust and communication. Kenny and Mari were paired together, leaving them no choice but to face the situation head-on. At first, their interactions were cautious. Small smiles, limited words, but as the activity went on, cracks in the wall between them began to soften. During a quiet moment away from the others, Mari opened up again. She shared that she feared being seen as too much whenever she expressed strong emotions. The incident with the cake wasn't about anger, she said. It was about feeling unheard. Kenny, visibly moved, admitted that he sometimes struggled to read emotional cues and promised to be more present even when conversations felt uncomfortable. Later that evening, the cast gathered for a tense dinner. Conversations paused whenever Kenny and Mari spoke, as everyone waited to see where things stood. In a confessional, Kenny revealed that he had been considering walking away, but Mari's honesty made him reconsider. For the first time, he felt like he truly understood her perspective. Mari, too, faced her doubts. She questioned whether she could trust Kenny to meet her emotionally, especially after such a public moment. But she also recognized how rare it was to find someone willing to listen and grow. As the night ended, a producer asked both of them the same question separately. "Are you ready to move forward, or is this the end?" Neither answered immediately. Instead, they exchanged a long look, one filled with uncertainty, hope, and unfinished business. Paradise thrives on moments like this, when love hangs in the balance and one choice can change everything. As evening settled over Paradise, the atmosphere grew heavy with anticipation. The upcoming rose ceremony loomed in everyone's mind, and for Kenny and Mari, it felt like a silent countdown. Every glance, every pause carried meaning. Kenny spent time reflecting by himself, watching the waves roll in. In a quiet confessional, he admitted that the incident forced him to confront something he had avoided for too long. Real commitment isn't comfortable. It requires vulnerability, patience, and the courage to face hard moments instead of brushing them aside. He realized that walking away would be easier, but staying might be worth the risk. Mari, meanwhile, spoke with a close friend who reminded her that expressing emotion isn't a weakness. She confessed that she feared being judged for how she reacted, but she also knew pretending everything was fine would have been worse. For Mari, paradise wasn't just about finding love, it was about being accepted for who she truly was, emotions and all. As night fell, the cast gathered, dressed and tense. The glow of candles lit the beach, and the silence felt louder than any argument. When Kenny and Mari locked eyes across the group, there was no anger left, only uncertainty and hope mixed together. When it was time to speak, Kenny stepped forward. His voice was calm but serious. He acknowledged that the past few days had been difficult, but he also admitted that they had revealed something important. Conflict hadn't broken them, it had shown them where they needed to grow. Mari listened quietly, tears forming as she realized how much the moment meant. She responded with honesty, saying she wasn't asking for perfection, only effort, communication, and reassurance when things felt overwhelming. The decision still wasn't spoken out loud, but the message was clear. Whatever happened next, it wouldn't be based on fear, it would be based on truth. As the ceremony continued, the camera lingered on their faces. Viewers could feel it. One final choice was about to define their journey in paradise. And just as the moment reached its peak, the screen faded, leaving everything hanging in the balance. Thanks for watching Golden Bachelor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next big story.